We are here today to attempt to abolish the 2012 law that the city of Houston made, which made it a crime punishable by jail and up to $2,000 in fines for someone who would feed more than 5 people outdoors without first seeking permission from the city of Houston, and then are restricted as to time and place. This is not only a violation of the homeless people's rights, but the people who merely want to give to the homeless. This is a law that outlaws giving. I have created a petition, and that petition in a short time has garnered over 70,000 signatures from not only Houston and not only the United States, but from throughout the world, who want to see this law abolished. Previously, a petition was brought to the city which had 28,000 different signatures in order to put it on the ballot. The city refused. And we're here today to bring to light the fact that people have not forgotten about this law because it's a few years old. And I'm not going to say everything that I know about this particular law because we have many other speakers here. But I would like to say it is legal to feed cats and dogs in the city of Houston, but it's not legal to feed the homeless. The first person I'd like to have speak is last name? Yeah. Callinen, Kallinen. First name is Randall with 2 L's. And the first person we'll have is Michael Bush.
I'm Council Member Michael Kubosh, City of Houston at-large, Position 3. This issue of criminalizing the citizens who want to reach out and feed the hungry and feed the people in Houston should outrage the people of the City of Houston. We should be outraged that this law is on our books. We have attempted in the past to get rid of this by a charter amendment, but now Mr. Callinen has come forward with 70,000 petitions, and I say the City Secretary should count these petitions. City Council should take action. We cannot let this lay dormant. We have a timeline to meet, which is August the 24th, to get this on the ballot for a vote of the people. Let the people vote on whether or not they want to make it a criminal act to feed the hungry people in Houston. They should be outraged at this law and this ordinance that is bad for the people of Houston. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Nick.
Hello, my name is Nick Cooper, C-O-O-P-E-R, and I'm a volunteer with Houston Food Not Bombs, and I'm just speaking on my own behalf. When this law was being discussed before it was put into place, the idea of fining people $2,000 each for each person every time that they go and share food with more than 5 people in public, we're a little bit alarmed because we've been sharing food in public for 20 years now. And we're not an organization that has $2,000 to throw around for every possible fine. So we're very alarmed by it. We organized and we got a very large coalition of people together. You'll find that there's people on the right, people on the left. There's people of all different religions and non-religions all involved in this. I'm standing here with people that are against the HERO ordinance. I'm in favor of the HERO ordinance. This isn't a partisan issue. This is an issue that an ill-conceived law was put on the books with the idea that we would revisit it. Well, let's revisit it now. What we found is that there's more desperation among homeless people in Houston. We found that people are lining up in much larger numbers to receive food, and desperation is going to lead to more crime of desperation. It's going to lead to more hunger, and these aren't things that are good for anyone in Houston. Nobody wants to have anything stolen. Nobody, if we have enough food for everyone, crime goes down, people are more content. So whatever angle you look at it, if you really care about the homeless people or you're concerned about crime, this law is a bad idea, and the mayor made a mistake in pulling in so many favors to push for it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Paul Kubosh. I'm an attorney, and I was also the one who had organized the red light camera vote. We gathered over 25,000 signatures of registered City of Houston voters to put this on the ballot. The city did not count those signatures. the city did not put this to the voters. This issue is never going to go away. This issue will never die until this ordinance is repealed. And we would ask the citizens of Houston to stand with us on this, to make sure that good Samaritans can share what they have with the needy.
Next we have Jay Hamburger.
My name is Jay Hamburger, Jayhamburger, and I've been feeding homeless people weekly for more than 25 years. And so I've seen the spectrum, the growth of the homeless population, which, contrary to what we've seen in the press recently, I'm not so sure that the population is actually being reduced. I hope it has. I'd like to be optimistic. I'd like to be optimistic in some ways. But I think this is a unique opportunity for the city fathers and mothers to make a grand course correction. We've shown to the world that we can be a city for great commerce. Let's show that we can be a city for great compassion. Feeding people is the most basic thing in all of our religions, all of our cultures. And the idea of making it illegal is specious. And I think the city erred. I believe that our city leaders recognize that. And this is the opportunity to correct it. They can allow this process to go forward, and we can overturn the specious ordinance.
Next we have Big Wayne.
My name is Vic Wang, V-I-C-W-A-N-G. So I'm the president of Humanists of Houston, although I'm here as an individual speaking for myself. So, hello everyone. My name is Vic Wang. I'm president of Humanists of Houston, the 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to promoting the principles of secular humanism. And we are currently the second largest chapter of the American Humanist Association in the country, with over 1,800 members. On a monthly basis, our organization has been collaborating with the Houston chapter of Atheists Helping the Homeless to distribute much needed supplies to the city's homeless population, including supplies such as toothpaste, toothbrushes, razors, soaps, shampoos, clothing, feminine hygiene products, and perhaps most importantly, mosquito spray. After collecting these items from our members, we then hand them out directly to homeless residents of Houston, serving an average of about 50 homeless individuals per giveaway. Of course, you may notice what was missing from that list, and you can perhaps understand why this ordinance is of particular interest to organizations such as ours. So I would like to express a few of the reasons I feel that this ordinance should be overturned. First, there's the stated purposes of the ordinance. The issue of littering, the issue of trespass on private property, and the issue of sanitation. But we already have laws in place regarding each of these concerns without the need for such a restrictive city ordinance on top of the pre-existing laws. And if sanitation is such a concern, it makes little sense for the ordinance to cover all types of food, including prepackaged, unexpired, sealed food items as it currently does. And I realize the ordinance is not an outright ban on food distribution, but having access to a necessity as important as food is a basic human right. I hope we can all agree on that. And similarly, being able to provide that essential resource to people who need it is also a basic human right. So we as citizens and as a city should be doing everything we can to make it easier for anyone to do so, not putting up roadblocks and barriers and the threat of a $2,000 fine for anyone who chooses to exercise the basic human right. And finally, another aspect of this ordinance that is of particular concern to organizations such as ours. As much as I love our great state, the unfortunate reality is that local governments in Texas have quite simply had an abysmal track record when it comes to an awareness of religious privilege and the separation of church and state. Hawkins, Texas, Beaumont, Texas, Koontz, Texas, China, Texas, Sour Lake, Texas. These are just a few of the cities and towns in the past few years where government entities have shown undue favoritism to religion over non-religion time and time again, with some of these violations literally happening as we speak. And while it involved a federal and not a city government agency, it was just 2 short years ago that Houston was in national headlines over the fiasco involving Margaret Dowdy's application for U.S. citizenship when she openly identified as atheist and was denied. So while I do not mean to suggest that the Houston Ordinance is currently being run in anything but a fair manner, the reality is that a city ordinance, which provides the government with the power to dictate which organizations can provide food to the homeless, at what locations, and even at what times on which days, and even, if I understand correctly, having the power to override the originally scheduled times and locations based on supply and demand. This is a situation with enormous potential for abuse when it comes to the preferential treatment of organizations of a religious nature, and organizations such as ours, which are of a purely secular nature. So it is for these reasons that I ask for the Houston Feeding Ordinance to be lifted. Thank you.
This is Eric Dick.
Hello, I'm Eric Dick. I'm an attorney. Here's the thing. Why should it be criminal for us to give food to the poor? It's something that's so basic. There's no valid reason for this law. None. Zero. Jesus Christ could share food. He broke bread. He shared fish. Why can't we follow the same teachings as Jesus Christ? And here's the thing. There's no valid reason for it to be criminal to give food to the poor. You're supposed to give the homeless food, not money. That's what my grandmother taught me. It's a darn shame that you can go to jail and have a $2,000 fine for trying to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Next we have a fellow here. I don't know his name, but it's a law affects the breathing, so see if it works.
Hello, my name is Robert Stevens, and I'm one of the people that this ordinance is benefiting. Direct Hope is an organization that comes down to feed on Sunday afternoons at 2 o'clock, and as a result of me being a part of, as a result of me going, feeding them and going and meeting them every Sunday or what have you, I was able to obtain a place to live and get off the streets. I'm also gainfully employed now because of the efforts that these groups have made, these organizations have made to come out here and feed us. I asked that this ordinance be rescinded because really these people need help out here. Some people that are out here on the streets homeless, they do not want to continue to be out here. They just need a helping hand. This ordinance is passed and it won't allow that to happen. I just ask that you have some mercy and compassion and allow us to continue to try and prosper and grow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matt Murphy, and I'm actually a fire protection engineering designer and a concerned citizen about this initiative. In reality, as a Christian, it would cost $2 million for Jesus to feed the 5,000. That's not right. When it really boils down to it, we should never have to limit our ability to help someone, not give a handout, but a help up. And in this reality, we need this to actually come to fruition. And the due diligence that was done by this organization to be able to put a petition together and to be able to go to the city, it is now the responsibility of the council and the mayor and the city secretary to get this on the ballot so us as voters can vote and get rid of this ordinance that is completely silly and stops us from helping our fellow Houstonians. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tex Christopher, advocate for the people of the city of Houston. I'm here today to definitely support the people. You know, it is our God-given right. It is commanded in Matthew 25:35 that we are to feed the homeless. I, as well as the citizens of Houston, Texas, do not need the permission of Mayor Anise Parker to fulfill the commission from God Almighty. And so I am here to support all those that are wanting to take action and literally be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. And so I want to thank everybody for being out here today as we all stand together. We've been fighting this mayor's personal agenda for too long, and it ends today. It's not about her agenda. It is about the agenda of the people of Houston, Texas. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to say?
our mayor, let me say our mayor, and I do believe that the Bible teaches us that we have to recognize, appreciate, and pray for authority. And believe me, I do. But our mayor have taken upon herself to develop agendas that are not only against the people, but against God and against really the laws of our government. We should not have to have forums of this sort to be able to help people understand, or even help the people that represent us understand. We elect these people to serve us. And oftentimes when they get in positions, they decide to say, forget the people, let's serve ourselves. And it's been too long that this mayor have been able to do this type of thing and just get a little slap on the hand as if to say, it's okay. We need to start as a people standing up and let this mayor and any other mayor that may come in the future know that you're here not to represent yourself, but to represent the people. People who are homeless, people who are hungry, people that need to be cared for and help to be able to get on their own to make their own way. Too often our people are, young men are getting out of jail, don't have no avenues. We try to help them to get jobs and things, they're shut out. And then when they end up going back into the law-breaking system because they're gonna survive, then we say, wow, why are they keep being repeat offenders? We need people representing us that can help us come up with plans to help people when they're in trouble, to help us to be able to continually do what we do, which is help and feed those that are hungry and homeless. We need to also recognize that we all have our own God-given sense. After the age of 2 or 3, we all know what we are. We shouldn't have ordinances to tell us what restrooms to go to. I know I'm male. If you're a female, I have no problem with what you prefer to be. Go where you know you ought to go. It's simple as that. Thank you.
Save God's people, not your salary.
We don't have, we're going to go inside and do something, go inside and see anybody else, one more person. Joe, you'd like to say something, Ronnie?
Yeah, I'm Ronnie Peacock, P-A-C-O-C-K. Lived a sort of life for a long time. Been in recovery now for quite a number of years. I have eaten out of dumpster. And it's a matter for a lot of these, and those choices I made, there's a lot of people out here that do make the same choice I made, and yet they're having to eat out of the dumpsters. You know, with our grocery store throwing away tons of food every week, it's good. And like I said, I made some of these choices and put me all that, and essentially I'm not correcting them. But, you know, these people have a choice. You know, either we're allowed to feed them, I mean, you gotta eat, you know? You gotta eat. And we don't get it wherever they can, wherever. That's all.
Thank you very much. I want to tell everybody I really appreciate you coming out. I know that everybody knows your help by coming out. Appreciate it so much.